This meeting is being recorded.
Yeah, is it now visible? I hope.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So friends, before going to this particular session, would like to talk about the BYST. What BYST and all together in that line. So when I'm talking about the BYST is working since 1991 in the field of youth empowering for especially for developing entrepreneurial aspect. And we basically working on 18 to 35 age group of youngster of various institutions, colleges, and those are unemployed. So what we are interested, we are keen interested to develop young entrepreneurs who have a individual, that imagination, that particular belongingness and determination to succeed in his life. So we have been working last 29 years succeeding, and we are basically having the support of our founder members. Here, our BYST founders are JRD Tataji, Mantosh Sondi sir, Nadda sir, late our Bajaj sir, then His Highness Prince Charles sir, and the backbone of our BYST is Lakshmi ma'am, who is controlling from Delhi. We are reaching the country, and we are in a pan-India we are working on together. We have basically reached to the 6 lakhs plus, youngsters, and now more than that. The figure is up to upgrade friends. And 7,000 plus we have supported basically the business people. And again, we have done more in that. And we have our certified trainers, basically mentor trainers, to whom I have given training. More than 3,000 plus people have been trained and have been basically certified. And our target is 10,000 mentors to come. This is what BY is looking for. We have given loans more than 260 crores plus. We have our partner, CII, who is our infrastructure partner, Tata Steel, Bajaj, Escort, Diageo, SMEs, AIG, JP Morgan, Godrej, SM, Azimi Assam, and IFKI are our basically Johnny Walker all together supporting us in that line. Right? We have our financial partners, State Bank of India, Indian Overseas Bank, Bank of Maharashtra, Bank of Baroda, IDBI Bank, and Central Bank of India. But very important thing I would like to tell you, Satara, Sangli, Karad, and Kolhapur, we have a HDFC who is providing support in that line. So what we do, we take entire brief of our consulting. Very soon, our Honorable Madhav sir, who is basically leading Baramati chapter. So being we are basically working nationally altogether, sir is looking altogether Pune chapter and everything in that line. He's going to conduct many more programs in days to come, awareness program, then detailed project report. So students, whatever we have basically going to plan it, we are going to support free of cost to make your proposal successful by proper our executing committee and Mr. Mahadeva Gaikwad is a leading mentor in our Baramati who is taking a keen interest to develop our BYST in an appropriate manner. I really thank you, Mahadevji. You have put the thought and you brought us today with this particular college of Vidyapasta. Sir, we'd like to tell you further, addition to that, our gentleman's activity here, we have our mentoring program. We develop our mentors. I know that some of your faculty, I have been given training last couple of months back, and they may be remembering if they are on this platform. So mentor chapters we are having internationally, we are doing the accreditation, urban mentoring one-to-one we are doing, and we have some credentials. In 2017, Mrs. Himuvani from Hyderabad, garment manufacturing, she's having a 200 employees and her turnover is now 2.31 crore. So this is one example we are putting, she got the basically Woman Achiever Award. There are many, many awards in that line. So friend, in a nutshell, what BYST? BYST is nurturing, caring, youth aspirant who wanted to go as an entrepreneur for future. But there must be idea, there must be passion, there must be zeal. With this request, today we have a very dignitary, and he is also our BYC mentor. We all are BYC, and we are working for the, when we have our own companies, but we are working for our country, Atmanirbhar Bharat. आत्मनिर्भर भारत की ओर हम चल रहे हैं. ये हमारा इस जो 75th हमारा आजादी का जो हम महोत्सव मना रहे हैं, तो वही इस सिलसिले में आप लोगों से हमारी बात हो रही है. So I request Suryakanta, you please take over, and I'm sure that everyone will cherish with his knowledge and cherish with the whatever he's going to discuss with you. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, Principal Biskar sir and coordinator. Thank you very much for calling us.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. We are going to 10:15, 60 minutes will be there. Let me share the screen. Dr. Gayatri, I hope the screen is visible.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, it is visible, Suryakanta. You can.
The preamble to the session is, rather than doing discussion about the what startup India, Make in India government has been doing, we are going to focus on the ground reality of any engineering college. And within 1 year, how can we have minimum 20 sustainable, successful startup in the campus of the Baramati College of Engineering? That is the focus and the vision, which is going to be a benchmark rather than a theoretical one. So to start with, so as I said, this is a season 1, like Netflix and all these web series, you can say 60 minutes, 3 episodes are there. We are going to come back once again. Vishka sir, okay, season 2, you can say before that we'll have, we'll collect the proposal from the students. We'll have the Zoom meetings with them, with our mentors. Mohit sir is there to coordinate all those things. And then the selection day will be there at your campus, 1-to-1, you can say, to come with those 20, you can say, innovations which we are trying to transform into the commercially viable startup within a 1 year time span. Okay, so today's session, okay, to start with the story time, dear startup aspirants, being engineering college students, we have the 4 different categories of the students. The first one is those are extremely good observers. So the observers, they do discuss about Make in India, they do discuss about the Japan, Korea, North Korea, they do discuss about the G8 countries. They're very good in the observation. They know what is happening. They know what are the issues are there. They know what should be taken care. Okay, but finally they start with observation, they end with observation. So that won't be applicable for any kind of funding, neither nor for any kind of sustainable startup. So assume that the scenario when we had long time ago, people used to face the water all the way from the river. Okay. Now the observer, what they will observe? Yes, there is a water crunch and there is something need to be taken care by the government or corporation. That is the one observation. Second, per person, per family, you can say the 20 buckets are required per family. Then one person has to spend 4 to 5 hours a day. That is again the good observation. The same time can be utilized in a better way to create the revenue for the family or for some better way. So someone should have some solution to this water crunch. That is the observation. That won't lead to any sustainable startup, neither nor for any kind of funding for that. Then the second students, the engineering students based in this, that is the analysis and the report, because we know that first semester to last semester, we most of the time busy in the spiral binding, black book binding, download the stuff, present the stuff, get the approval, submissions, so we are extremely good in that. So analysis and the report will submit that. If we find the solution to this, the solution will save so much number of hours per family, so many number of hours per village, per district, per nation, and this can be utilized towards the nation building, towards the society building, or the upbringing of the family. Now that analysis and the report again not going to convert into the sustainable startup neither nor any funding. What we need the solution. We need the solution. And there are students, first bench to last bench, believe me, irrespective with their academics, they will have that jugaad, they will have that Indian jugaad for this solution. This is the kind of solution. I'm coming to the funding only. Okay. Now here the funding is quite possible because we come with some solution to offer them. And then the first criteria of the funding is the person or the company or the institution or organization going to fund your project or your innovation or startup. They are looking for only 2 things. First is the what kind of return on the investment, value for money. So they are expecting 30% to 40% returns on their investment, and that too safe. And the most important, the safe exit. I do repeat, exit means they need to take the profit and they need to come out of your startup, maybe in this course of time, maybe 1 year, 2 year, couple of years. Okay. Else the money will be get stuck and it will be like sort of Bitcoin, which will going to be get on increasing and difficult to encash. So I do repeat again, first is a safe investment, second is a safe exit. Now in this case, just imagine that we have the Sakshi here. If the Sakshi started such kind of, you can say startup, and if she declare on one fine day, this is my startup, 20 rupees per bucket you have to pay and I will deliver the water to you at your doorstep. Successful startup, believe me, because rather than going all the way over there, people will start purchasing from the Sakshi, right, Sakshi? So it's India. Again, we are engineering student. We are going to the copycat. So immediately second day Ajay will come. Next day Sanika will come, and then they will start the same thing. And this is the major reason, the grassroots cause that why Indian startups get failure. One of the reason. Because next day they will come and the price war will start. Rather than 20 rupees, Sanika will say now 18 rupees. Gayatri madam will say 15 rupees. Bishkar sir may say 12 rupees. And then it's very difficult to affordable. That is one. Second, always Dr. Mohite sir says that rather than counselor and the coach, find out the mentor. If you really want to go for a sustainable startup and the funding. If Sanika would have taken the help of the mentor immediately would have given the business analysis and the business sense that this startup is not going to be viable in this way because first, feasibility is not there. No one can run 8 hours a day with 20 buckets in a day. So it's not feasible. Second, price war, which I just mentioned. And third, in the long run, you cannot offer such kind of solution because someone may come with some solution that will be more commercial viable, which will be more flexible. Example, another solution comes in the market. Rather than running with the buckets, can't we have the pipeline from the river to the every doorstep where they will come and they will collect the water? Now compare. One side 2 hours delivery time, here is 2 minutes. There is 20 rupees. Here you can offer it only for 5 rupees. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? And the why price war is there? Because again, the one of the reason here that is the protect your innovation. If you're not protected your innovation under patent, copyright, trademark, design, then immediately every next person going to copycat your startup, and then it will be very difficult for your sustainability because you already invested your time, money, efforts to come to that position. Someone going to copy as it is. So they may be in position to offer better price than you because their investment is less. Please try to understand the concept. What I'm trying to convey. So in this case, when there is a pipeline is available, now this pipeline is possible, as I said, from the mentoring. So no need to go to the Google, no need to go to the YouTube, better speak with the people. And once you get this solution, then the East India company comes in the picture, the MNCs comes in the picture, and then they will approach you to take over your startup. Now tell me, once your startup becomes successful, will you sell your startup or not? Ajay, Sakshi, Sanika, will you sell your startup, students?
You can interact students.
Students, you can unmute and you can. Yes, it's 60 minutes, you can unmute, you can speak. This is something commercially viable, 1 year startup we are going to plan as a benchmark. So please speak up. Are you going to sell your startup to any other MNC? Anyone, faculty, student, especially students?
Anyone can mute and just answer. Yeah,
Ajay, Sakshi, Sanika, anyone?
Yeah, Nitin is there. Yeah, Nitin Mane, please.
Yeah, please.
See, friend, you have to involve in this talk because this is for you people, right?
Are you going to sell it or not? That's simple question. Your own perspective. Faculty, staff coordinator.
Any staff coordinator, yeah. Even any faculty member, please answer. Yeah.
Sir, we can sell, but before that we have to assure that we have protected it.
It's a protected one. Now you suggest you have to hand over to someone. You have to sell it out.
Yes, sir.
Are you going to sell it or not? That is the question.
Yes, sir.
Because it's now successful. Your own brainchild, your own baby is now successful with your efforts. So are you going to sell it or not? Why you would like to sell if it is successful already? When you started earning? Why do you need to sell? Because now you are on the verge of the where you will start getting the funding, and this is the early stage funding. Please try to understand. Early stage funding means not necessarily you have an idea and then you go for a funding. VC funding will not come like this. You have to come up to this level. Okay. Yes, madam.
Sir, means if we have protected it, either we can go for we can sell it to a company if it is a patent, or if we have sufficient funding, we can grow our business on our own instead of selling it to someone else.
Now see, very simple, students. Whenever you get an opportunity to come out of your, you can say startup by selling the startup, very first activity, please do it, sell it. There are two reasons behind this. The first one, you will get the sufficient corpus and the funds for the further activities. See, we are innovators. We will get n number of ideas. Day after tomorrow, Mohite sir will give you that ideas, how to come up with the idea generation for the startups and all. So you can come with a n number of other ideas, what you need a funds, what you need a corpus. So rather than relying on the VC, if you are getting a funds by selling out your immediate first startup, sell it out. That is the first reason. Second, as I said, these East India companies, these MNCs, they are so powerful, financially strong. They will go pan-India level, they will go global level, and they will have such a sustainability that Jio can be free for 2 years and still can sustain. We cannot sustain for 2 years like a Jio. So that is the second reason. So there are no space for the emotions. Immediately sell it out and get the funds for your further ideas and the, Now take away of this session, as I said, 100% assured, guaranteed, successful, sustainable startup within 1 year. That is the commitment. Okay. We are going to share with you one chat box link. Just join there on the forum. Second, 180 degrees shift in the mindset towards the startup and the business. Example, VC funding is not available for, I do repeat, VC funding is not available for any engineering student if you come with an idea. Believe me, I do repeat. Though the title is VC funding, because VC funding, I'm coming to that in detail afterwards, but just I'm trying to convey you how we are going to shift your 180 degree mindset towards the startup funding and the business. So please note down, VC funding is not available for you immediately if you have an idea with you or some college project with you. VC funding is not directly from any individual, it is from the company which has collected money from the other people. So why they will take a risk of the money which they have collected from the others to create the revenue for them, maybe 30% plus. You got it. So VC funding, that is when we say early stage is, I do repeat, this is the early stage. When you have the commercial viable model available and which is launched in the market, and now you want to go for Excel this, you want to go for scale up this, that time the VC funding comes in the picture. So that is not immediately applicable for us. Now, what are the solutions we are going to discuss? Then startup with zero investment, as I already mentioned, no need to worry about that, from where the funds comes and what are the sources are there, everything we are going to take care. 100% financial support, and the most important, beyond the funding, because money can be get generated, even you can get it personal loan. It's not about the money, it's about the mentoring from the industry experts. And then $1 million idea generation for the startup, which is going to be sustainable and viable. Now come to the, you can say Google, come to the reality where we do study startup, business plan, model, strategy, VC funding, angel funding. If everything is available, if the MBA schools are there, if the Google is there, YouTube is there, Startup India, Make It India initiatives are there, then still the question comes that how many startups are successful and sustainable in engineering colleges? And if the scenario is not that good, then the question comes, where is the lacuna? You got it what I'm trying to convey. If everything is there at the right place, if there are so many, if you can say innovations, initiatives from the government, Make in India, Startup India, and so many funding opportunities are available. As you know that recent update, 20 lakhs rupees you will get as a grant without any interest, and up to 80 lakhs rupees you can get from the government under the Startup India for your startup. I do repeat, as a funding with a minimum interest rate. So 20 lakhs and the 80 lakhs minimum I'm trying to say. If such kind of scenario available, then why engineering college students, startups are not becoming successful and not able to get the funds? Coming to the solution. Now thumb rules are there. You have to follow these thumb rules within this 1 year if you get associated with us, where we are giving you the assurance and the guarantee of the sustainable startup along with the sustainable growth. As I said, when I say sustainable, in the earlier water crunch startup example, if you start carrying 20 buckets a daily, that is not the sustainable. Today or tomorrow it's going to collapse. We talk about the sustainable. And which are the growth you are going to get, like in a first day, Sanika may get 100 clients to fetch the water all the way with the help of the 20 buckets, but that won't be sustainable growth in future. Now, come to the thumb rules. The first one, already I mentioned that please stop visiting Google for all kind of startup and the kind of, you can say, information, not knowledge about the funding and the startup. Then what is the solution? Meet the people. YouTube, like in the last week we had one session, and there we have seen one entrepreneur who got 20 lakhs rupees funding and first year turnover 182 lakhs. No doubt this is a success story. But the ground reality, how much the person has put the effort, what is the family background, what kind of support was available, what kind of challenges were there, and what is the percentage ratio of such kind of success ratio, and where we should stand. And she was fortunate to get that 182 lakhs rupees BYST entrepreneurs, proudly we mention here. Okay, so that is a success story based on some mentoring. So what is again we are suggesting you visit and meet the experts. You are fortunate enough that BYST is connected with you, Dr. Mohite sir is connected with you, Viper sir connected with you. So there is no any, you can say, lacuna from this perspective, that is the people and the expert. Then one more, with due respect, don't mind teacher and the parents. If you really want to go excel your startup, then your teacher will be one of your startup buddy, not your mentor. I do repeat with due respect, initially for 1 year, your faculty will be your startup buddy, your partner, not your mentor. Mentor will come from the successful industry people, those have seen the up down, those have experienced the up down last 20 years, 15 years, and then know do's and don'ts about the industry. That is you need to follow, because if you follow any parent or teacher, like my wife is also Dean HOD in the engineering college, PhD computer, Dr. Preeti. Now she is not in the business, okay, though the company is on her name, Preeti Surgan Patil PSP. If you start availing the guidance for your startup from her, she will try to give the theoretical knowledge as well as whatever available from the Startup India, Make in India point of view. Without any experience, and that will not help me to go for a sustainable growth with a sustainable startup and the funding. But at the max, like Sadhguru says, if you follow someone as it is, you can be a best version of that person, not beyond that. Okay. Now, what is the solution? Already mentioned, visit and meet the mentors. We already there with you. Now, the selling your startup, already we mentioned, don't work with the emotions. Okay. Better go with the startup, considering it's a business and nothing but the sense to sense the market. I do repeat, startup is nothing but the sense to sense the market. And the takeaway of this session, we are trying to inculcate that sense in you to sense the market for the sustainable startup in the future. Okay. Then take the case study of the Big Basket. Everyone knows that Big Basket success story, and the Big Basket, when it was a success story at the peak, that time the owner has sold it out to the Tata Group for several $1 million. And what he's going to do? He got several $1 million financial funds in his hand. Now he come with a laundryman. Wait, soon it's going to launch. Laundryman, just imagine. Laundryman Pan India with a software support automation of the, you can say with hygiene and everything. The way we say talk about the hygiene organic nowadays, that is a trend. So the laundryman is going to come with a more hygiene and more automation. And that is going to be the next startup, which already I mentioned that don't get connected emotionally with your startup, sell it out, get your funds, go for the next startup. We are Indians, we are fully born talented. We have so many number of innovations. We are so much innovative and so much talented that we can give the guidance, believe me, as you know, to Dhoni to Modi, how to play the cricket and how to run the politics. So there is nothing as such worry about the innovations. Do not run behind the technical hands-on skill. This is very important, and take a thought process of this. Initially, you may not be agree with me. If you can have any kind of queries, unmute and please ask. This is the right platform. Do not run behind. Like my son who is in the 10th grade, Om, I said when his mama said, you go for Python skill, go for Coursera, this skill, that skill. I said, no technical skills. And there are two reasons. You want to become a startup buddy. You want to have a successful startup with you. Means you want to go for a business, pan-India level and global market. In that case, in this today's era, as we know that overnight the technology is going to change. If you put your money, time, efforts, and if you learn in technology, tomorrow something new will be there. AI was there, ANN was there, ML was there. Now we talk about the blockchain, and there may be something new comes in the future. You got it what I'm trying to say. When I say don't invest in the technical skill, then where you need to invest? You need to invest in, I do repeat again, how to sense the market with the help of the mentors, with the help of the industry people, with the help of the people from the market. Okay. So as I do say, technical skills get outdated because it's a changing era. So overnight it may change, and then you have to start from a scratch for the new technology. Second, technologies you can hire, technicians you can hire, technically enabled people also you can hire. Difficult to hire is the mindset that how to run the business, a mindset that how to sense the market. I'm repeating the same thing again and again. Please focus on that. Example, if you must have seen the Steve Jobs movie, when the first presentation of the Steve Jobs was there, that time you must have watched, he was busy still about how to pitch his product to the audience. And that time there was some technical fault. Believe me, watch the movie once again. Steve Jobs never worked on that. He said to the technical team, please take care of that problem. I'm going to work on my presentation. Finally, I'm going to do a business. Similarly, second case study, watch another movie, Social Networking. This is on the again biopic of the Facebook. There also when the Facebook, we can say Mark Zuckerberg used to do coding 22 hours. It was clearly mentioned in the movie, 22 hours he used to do the coding throughout day, night. And that time the mentor came all the way and the mentor suggested him, this is not your cup of tea, this is not you are supposed to do. Take the blazer, come with me, we will visit every university and we will get the business. We are supposed to do the business in the market. We are not supposed to work in the back office on the coding. We will hire the people over there. And then there is a success story of the Facebook. So please watch both the movies once again. Now, one more thumb rule. If you say 100% hardware, okay, like suppose we have a Sanika from the civil engineering. Sanika, are you there, right? Civil engineering student. So if she's from civil engineering, she has a limited scope, to go for a software. So I said software enabled. I not mention it's a software 100%. So if it is 100% hardware, I personally, my perspective, individual perspective, stay away from such kind of hardware based, 100% hardware based projects for your startup. Very simple reason. First is today's market is all about the reachability. It's a number game. That how many end users are going to use your software, your hardware, your product. And based on that, the funding is going to be there and you are going to get your revenue. If it's 100% hardware, it's very difficult to do the pitching pan-India level and in the global market. Second, hardware, it comes like a similar kind of maintenance issues and the competitions where it can be easily replaceable and very difficult to go for a, you can say, updations in the version 1, 2, 3, 4 in the hardware. It comes with a huge time, money, efforts compared with the software enabled. When it's a software enabled, either it's even automobile, mechanical software or any other industries, IT, no doubt there is already scope is there. That time, it is very easy to pitch. I do repeat, global market as well as the pan-India market. If you have any queries, you can unmute and you can ask me in between. Don't wait till the end. So as I said, avoid Google, avoid the YouTube. This is the ground reality. We say 90% startup in India are failure, 10% are successful. And when you talk about the engineering colleges, we will say 99.9% because there are hardly some benchmark in very few private engineering colleges or government engineering colleges where we can say, yeah, this is a sustainable startup and this is a success story of the startup. Okay. If you have any queries, you can. Now, when we talk about such kind of startup, go to the clients, go to the end user, go to the society. So one more thumb rule, rather than running behind the industrial solutions, go for a societal solution. Societal problems are there, find out the societal problems are there, and then come with your startup. Example, as we know that in Mumbai and hardly any metro, you may get such kind of dynamic, you can say sensor based traffic signals, which will dynamically change based on the intensity of the traffic. But in all cities, tier 2, tier 3, wherever you go, even in Pune, you will find that 120 second, 100 second, 90 second, you have to wait in the daytime also when there is hardly any traffic. So can't we have with some sensor based traffic dynamic sensor, you can say such kind of unit. The good part about this, already we have the CCTVs mounted by the SP office. So what we need only a simple software and the backbone, not cost more than 2,000 rupees, and every corner and every signal we will have at that cross of board mentioned that this project has been designed and developed by Baramati College of Engineering. See the kind of branding and all these things, and automatically it's going to attract you can say focus of the industry people. And that is again another way out to get the funding from them with such kind of branding and the promotions. One idea when you talk about the funding, there are different ways of funding. I'm just giving some case studies. Someone just pass out student, he come up with an idea. As you know, students love, denim. They love 4 years. They use a single denim with single jeans. You can say without wash, it's non-washable. Now the person with this denim love, he come up with an idea. Can we have a denim for, yes, for gym, for the running, for the jogging. So the tracksuit is of the denim feel. Just imagine the good idea, and very soon the Nike is going to launch the product. Now such kind of idea can again create the revenue and the funds, and that funding can be utilized not for this startup, I do repeat, for the further startup. What we have a mindset, come with an idea, try to go for a funding of the same one, go for a manufacturing, don't do that. Finally, money matters. From where it comes and for which startup, no one going to ask you. Once you get the funds with even a single idea, then you will be financially sound to go for a encashment or deployment, implementation of your other ideas in the future in the startup. So what we need to see the demand, as I said, the denim love of the students. Economics, yes, they are ready to pay for that, because nowadays no one asks, we just see the barcode, we just pay, hardly we see the price nowadays. And then proper sustainable planning for that. So when you talk about the thousands of ideas are there, if everyone has an idea, okay. So it doesn't mean that the VC or angel or any other firm or individual will immediately invest in your idea. So idea is not sufficient, okay. What we need to have, I do repeat again, we need to see the trends in the market. We need to see what are the issues in the market. I do repeat about the societal issues first of all, because we will be able to reach to the maximum people. And when you have the maximum end users with you, believe me, funding will come automatically. So when we talk about the trends, low cost is a trend. Rather than investing 2,000 rupees for one dress, it's better to purchase 5. Convenience, well-being, environment, female fever, grey power, senior citizens. Now, again, come with some of this is my perspective based on my 24 years industry experience, business experience of 2 companies. Okay. Now, as I said, when we started this company, PSP IP and Associate, I had in my mind that, okay, 24 years before, just imagine, like a Chitra Bandhu, can I have the Patil Associates? See, I'm coming to the funding again, because funding means reachability, funding means end user, your success, okay, in the first stage. So when I had a plan to start with the Patil Associate that time, then I realized that Patil Associate difficult for what? It's difficult to pitch in the Maharashtra. Believe me, we are Maharashtrians, right? I don't need to go into detail. So we come with the PSP IP and Associates. And now we are getting the advantages in the digital marketing, because hashtag PSP IP is you can understand digital marketing, how it works, no need to go into detail, but hashtag PSP IP is helping us in digital marketing, which would be difficult, hashtag Patil. You can understand. Second, as I said, it's a digital era. So when you go for a promotion of the branding, it is very easy for a PSP IP. So I do repeat, when we go for any particular startup, your name matter, your uniqueness in the name matter, because we are in a digital era. So finally, we need to go for a digital marketing and that time. And these things you need to discuss before you form your company or your startup. Okay. Then the question comes, like we have Mohite sir, he is successful Mohite Associate. The reason is, he is a great celebrity public figure, and just because of his own popularity and his own reachability, that becomes the success story. You are just student, so you cannot afford to have Patil Associates and the Mohite Associates. Okay, and then you are going to take the advantage of the digital marketing also. Then come to the, as I said, when the MNCs comes, how they come. This is an example. This is a cutout from the Times of India. The Intel company take over one Bangalore-based company for what? They paid them, means the Bangalore-based company, the startup actually, they got huge funding, $1 million of funding from Intel. For what? Can you imagine? Neither for idea, nor for innovation, nor for their product, nor for services. It is just and just for their 100 engineers. Ineda is a company, you can Google it up afterwards. And the US giant Intel has paid them $1 million just to acquire, not the company, 100 engineers. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? That's the reason I said, don't run behind the technical knowledge. You should know that. See, I am BTech, I'm PhD computer engineer, then I'm LLB, LLM. I'm doing the business of the IPI. I know that. Having knowledge of that, having exposure of that is a different one. I'm trying to you can say, excel in that skills, technical skills, coding and all, which is not recommended, which we can hire like this. Then there are many success stories out there where you can say, now if you see this one, others, third year students come with an idea where, all the forest and the farms, when we have the fencing earlier it used to be with electric power in that to restrict the animals and all. But electric power comes with a cost. The death of the animal or a human being is risky. It was risky. So he come up with an idea, being an electronic student, that why not to have something, a buzzer kit, which is an electromagnetic one, not the electrical one. So no death toll will be there. Now come to the patent. His patent got rejected. You can Google it with his name. His patent got rejected, but still in my presence, he got immediately funding from the Benz. That too again $1 million for his project. And fortunately, Minister Javadekar sir was there in that meeting. He has also immediately conveyed that you come and meet me, submit the proposal, and government will fund you. Because this is very much needed for the farmers and all, and animal and environment. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? So mindset, if you say that, okay, if I have patent, no doubt patent is important. But in this case, patent was rejected, but still he got the funding from both sides, as well as the third funding from the BIF Foundation. You can Google it. Second case, this is an app. He himself is a social, you can say physically disabled or a specially challenged student, and he come with that kind of app to check the such kind of possibility in the infant, newborn baby. Initially, believe me, he got a zero funding. When the app becomes success story, he started getting funding from any corner, including Google. You can Google it. And there are many ways. Okay, like Dr. Praveen for the women's self-defense. This is very interesting. You can please Google it, Sati Pads. In our presence only, again, she got a funding from the couple of CSR funds as well as from the government. See the beautiful idea. Banana fiber has been utilized for the sanitary pads. Now, such kind of ideas, don't you think we can say explore and we can upgrade and we can groom it properly in the form of startup? Yes, because this is the need. I do repeat again. Then there is no boundary. So please remove the mindset and the mental block from your mind. I'm just a first year student, second year student, I'm just a fourth year student. Okay. There is no as such criteria that you should be highly qualified. There is no as such criteria. Only you should have the proper mindset towards the innovation and towards the business. And then there is a huge scope in the market. And if you see all these scenarios are connected, not with the industry, they are connected with the society. So finally, because of society, they got and these are the real case studies, numbers, email IDs, everything is there. So because of the society connects, they get the end users, they get the more reachability, and because of the reachability, they got the funding. So either it's a foundation or it's a CSR or any other funding, they got the funding because of this. Come to the one of the case study from the agriculture, when we have the pesticide and that pesticide goes here and there because of the wind. So again, the third year electronic student in the Chandigarh, he came that time with an idea that is the electrostatic sprayer. It will save the money, no doubt, efforts, as well as it's not harmful. And then he got the all, accolades, and he's physically challenged, but still, and then all kind of name, fame, and funding come automatically from the Punjab government, Chandigarh government, and many are in the pipeline. So when we talk about the funding, I do repeat, no need to think about any alien project, whichever there where we are surrounded as a society member, because the society is the end user and the end user is going to get us the funding. Example, YouTube. You know that YouTube is a great business is there. Many YouTubers are there earning in $1 million. From where the funding comes? Very simple, end users. How many subscribers are there? How many downloads are there? How many views are there? How many likes are there? So finally, it should be society driven. I do repeat. Okay. Now, Indian mindset. When any problem is there, any issue is there, what we do discuss, is it a Kulu Manali? No, it's not Kulu Manali. It's a Delhi, right? It's a pollution. So again, the students like you must have seen this on the television, news and all. You can Google it once again. They come with an azo filter. Cost is only ₹2.10. Now, Dr. Raghunath Mashalkar, our innovation guru, my innovation guru, he has given the very good tagline, that is for startup funding, do more with less for more. If you really wanted to go for a funding, then do more Means when you choose, listen carefully, when you choose any field, any domain which is affected, that should have the maximum reachability, maximum impact. Like in this case, pollution. Pollution is such a thing which has the maximum impact. So do more with less. If you see the pricing of the filter, rupees 10 only. They come with another AC purifier, 399 rupees only, with less. Because if it is less, see, take the example, one more case study of the mobile phones. When I purchased my first mobile phone, Panasonic with antenna, that time I used to pay 8 rupees for incoming call. I do repeat, for 8 rupees for incoming call. Now, no doubt, cell phone is a great invention. Imagine today, if we had supposed to pay 8 rupees for incoming call, do you think cell phone would be that much popular? Answer is so, no. So invention is not great of the cell phone. What is the greatness is the innovation where lifetime you are getting the free SIM card. Lifetime free SIM card. And that is the beauty of this. Unlimited calls for 150 rupees. That is the beauty of the innovation. And because of that, with less, it able to sustain and capture worldwide market. Billions of users, you can say. For more, that is the end user. Number of people going to affect with this. So if your startup is there, which is for a very exclusive, suppose mining work is going, no doubt, mining work is going on. There are labor issues are there, breathing issues are there, death toll are there. And with a good intention, you want to do some kind of projects for the mining laborers. No doubt it's a good idea, noble cause. You can do it later on once you get the funding for the first project. But the first startup should not be that, because do more with less for more, that is not going to match with that. Very limited people are going to utilize that. The impact is very less on the society and the cost is very high. So focus on the do more with less for more if you really want to go for a funding. And in this case study, if you can see here, 75% business export, and then they got a funding from the again the government of Delhi, government of Punjab. This is because of success story. So if you have something in your mind that early stage funding means I have idea in my mind and someone will pay me, no boss. It is not going to happen. You have to make it commercial viable product. You have to prove that the ground, you have to prove the ground, you have to prove the end users support to you, reachability especially, and then the fundings will come. And then patent is just a tool. Okay, we no need to discuss about that, worry about that. Patent is a negative right, going to keep others away from you, and that is the major base for you when you go for a funding, to avoid the copycat. So finally, patent is no doubt it's connected with the funding, but this way it is connected. Now, we are Indians, then you will say there are so many issues are there. Fortunately, we are Indians. That's why we have so many issues. We are surrounded by so many issues. If we had born in the country like Japan, the perfect one, don't you think there would be less issues and the less scope for the such kind of startup? Fortunately, we are Indian. We are surrounded by so many issues. You can say local to global. And those issues are nothing but the startup ideas. And that, I do repeat again, going to get you the funding, because those are going to affect you, means affect society. If something going to affect me, something going to affect my family, something going to affect my institution, organization, it means this is the best, you can say, idea to go for a startup, which is going to get the funding, because everyone is going to affect with that. So what are the, you can say, issues and the problems? We need to focus on the end user, maximum number of, what are the major sectors? Healthcare sector is there, agro, environment, Then there is one more funding opportunity. BYST, Moite sir is going to mention about this in the next session. Rotary, I'm a director of the Rotary Club here. So huge funding is there international level. Yesterday I had a meeting. I conveyed to the Rotary people. I'm trying to educate them with my whatever the minimum contribution, you can say possible contribution. I said now we need to think beyond the blood donation camp and the tree plantation. That is needed, no doubt. But now we need to think about the how to go for a nation building with the entrepreneurs. So again, tomorrow we have a meeting with the Rotary authorities in Pune, and I'm going to again focus that how Rotary funds can be utilized for the young entrepreneurs. Okay, so that is one of the way where we can contribute, or you can get the funds. SP office is there. I just given the example of the traffic signal. Don't you think the SP office will give the funds for that? Corporation office are there, politicians are there, every politician has the funds. But those funds as of now, again, go with some kind of roti, kapda and makan. To go beyond that, and every politician is aware now that for their vote bank, they need to do something. And with the help of the digital, I do repeat, They have been waiting. Believe me, politicians have been waiting. We never know. Such kind of proposal, when we go with there and do the pitching and we convey them, how it's going to help you. Example, suppose there is one politician from the Kolhapur, go with a miniature model of the big basket where only and only focus all farmers from the Kolhapur, and there will be a special customized app only for Kolhapur farmers, where there will be a customized service and home delivery to the each and every one of their products. That is their vegetables and the fruits and everything. This everyone is looking for. So there is again a funding opportunity from them. Then come to the case study. Case study, one is a Google model, second is a Geo model. Believe me, in this 1 year, if you get associated with us, we are going to follow these models and we are going to get the fund and we are going to have a sustainable startup. Now you tell me, when the Google come with a 12 to 13 beautiful products, how much they are charging to society? We know that, zero. We do not pay anything to Google, but still it's a multi-billion-dollar company. You got it? Similarly, Geo, 2 years, 2.5 years, zero, free of cost. And what they got? Do you know Geo actually launched? That was just, you can say, secondary plan. There was no major plan for the Geo. Geo was launched as just a base, there was no big plans for that, and they got a jackpot. Now come to the success story of the Geo. 2.5 years, they offer the 32, you can say, CR customers in India, 32 crores of customer in 2 years. Geo got. How much money they would have earned? Can you imagine from this? What is the major source of earning? Is it what we do, the monthly recharge? It should be, right? Please try to understand what I'm trying to convey. If Geo is a company who is a service provider, mobile service provider, like a Vodafone and all, then their major source of earning should be recharge. Yes or no?
Yes.
And they got 1 lakh rupees, $1 million from, they got from the Facebook, they got from the Google. Means when Google invested $10 billion in India, you can Google it once again, $4.5 billion, they said we are giving to Geo only. Facebook, then UAE based companies, everyone contributed there. And just imagine, when the 52 was the count, need to be arranged by the Vodafone Idea together, and they failed to do that, and they are on the verge of the closing. At the same time, 1 lakh plus they got within a month, and that is because of the only and only they got the end user 32 crores with them. Those they are going to share with the Facebook, those they are going to share with the Google for the further joint ventures. I do repeat. So the primary source of earning is not the recharge for the mobile service provider company. It is the end user count, I do repeat, and the utilization of that. Think about this. Okay. This is for the faculty point of view. Bichkar sir, one more source of funding was there, supposed to be there, but which we have shut the door, and that is, madam, research papers.
Yes.
How many research papers you have, ma'am?
I have 27.
Great, very good, excellent, wonderful. And how much revenue and funds you gathered from the 20 papers?
Sir, I have filed 3 patents, out of which one patent.
My question is very simple.
For the papers, na?
In your research papers, 20 beautiful research paper with the beautiful innovations, how much funds, this is funding session, right? How much funds you raise to transform one of the idea from the research paper into startup? Amount. Funding raised in the research paper.
Sir, 2 lakh rupees.
2 lakh rupees, who has given you?
Means we have sold that idea to a industry.
Research paper idea.
Hatch Logic.
Research paper idea, you mean to say?
To a startup.
No, my question is very simple. You have published 20 research paper, right?
Yes, sir.
So among these 20 research paper, you mean to say you have sold out one idea to the industry, right?
Yes.
Yeah, this is a risky, okay. Today or tomorrow there may be issues, because see, try to understand. Dr. Gayatri.
Just a minute. Sir, I have initially filed a patent regarding that idea, and after publication of that patent, then we have written a paper. That
is highly appreciable, okay. But the question is again still there, when every faculty and the student, they do publish the paper, as everyone knows that we need to transfer the copyright on their name, and once we transfer the copyright on their name, the ownership goes to them. So tomorrow
Yes.
dispute may come, maybe there, litigations may be there. So simple thumb rule is there. If you find any kind of potential in the startup point of view, business point of view, forget about the research paper. There are many other domains are there. There are many other ideas are there which we can file the research paper, because that is a charity. Try to understand. When we make the copyright on the name of the publisher, you are no more author of that. I do repeat, you are no more author of that. You are no more owner of that. Suppose tomorrow Mohitia Associates willing to invest in your research paper, they will find your research paper on the IEEE Explorer and they will communicate with the owner. Who is the owner of your paper? IEEE publisher, not you. And Mohitia Associate will sign the joint venture and they will pay the 70 lakhs rupees to them for that research paper idea ownership to the IEEE Explorer, not to you, IEEE publisher. You got it? So this is one more thing we need to focus in future. Even a 1% possibility is there. 1% possibility is there to go for commercialization. Forget about the research paper, go for any other topic. Okay. Now come for one more revenue generation and the funding from the in-house project. The in-house project can get the funding. How to get the funding from the in-house project? Okay. We can have the social innovation cell and home to nation, state, city, organization level. We can say we will have, okay, we will have this n number of societal problems. So the societal problems, we are going to find the solutions. And when we find the solutions with the help of us, we have the strong connects international universities. There will be a project going on with the help of the couple of universities from the couple of countries. I do repeat. So the exposure of the project will be there to the, not to the India, but to the couple of countries. So when the couple of countries, students and the faculty working on a single project, which is SPPU and any all universities, they do allow interdisciplinary as well as the international project and international projects. So that time, just imagine the kind of resources we are getting, the kind of funding opportunities we are getting from the other nations also. And when we have such kind of platform, don't you think it's just not an exchange of idea among the couple of countries or couple of universities? This is the exchange of the resources. I do repeat. Exchange of resources include their mentors, include their foundations, include their organizations, their funding bodies, and everything will be under single umbrella. And the moral, the best part of this, the way Dr. Gayatri have been waiting that California Baptist University should be tied up with them. Don't you think the California Baptist University also looking for someone that Baramati Engineering College means Indian University should, Indian institute should be approach them for such kind of collaborative startup. You got it? So it's very easy to get collaborated with the international universities and then get the funding international level, not only the resources, mentor, but the, I do repeat, funding also, the possibilities are very high when you go for international level. And I do repeat, forget about the boundaries. Your mind block is there. I'm a computer student, mechanical student, civil student. Forget about all those things. Go for a societal problem. Go for a healthcare. Go for a hospital. Speak with the doctors. Find out the issues over there. What is the issue in the ambulance? What the additional things they need to go for the upgradation of the smart ambulance. Example. Collect all the details. Go with the other universities. Collect the manpower from their resources from them, and then go with that kind of healthcare project, which is your major project. No need to repeat once again. That is your university project, okay? And that you can submit that way. Now just imagine when you have the such kind of societal innovation-based projects are there. Don't you think you'll be able to connect like a Google, like a Geo to each and every corner of the India and the global market? And the answer is yes. And if you are get connected with them, automatically funding will come from all the corners. Now come to the ground reality of the engineering college. In the engineering college, as we know that we give one topic to them. First semester they spend, or rather I will say invest, or you can say waste in the collecting the data, download the data, make a spiral binding, give the report, all kind of formalities. Okay. And then in the second semester, hardly they get 3-4 months of time to complete their project. Do you think within 3 to 4 months, we will be able to have a commercial viable product in the market to go for a startup? Answer is no, quite difficult. No. So what is the solution to this? Solution is very simple. BYST is there, Mohitia Associates is there, PSPIP is there. Once we have the incubation center from our side at your place, we will give the sponsorship to these projects. Because the second challenge for this, Dr. Gayatri, right? Your name. So when Dr. Gayatri is going to guide to the student, 3 students, and if their hardware is cost is suppose 15,000 rupees. When the students pass out, they carry their project with them, right? Because we don't have any provision to pay them the 15,000 rupees and keep the project with us. So once we sponsor, means idea, who is giving the idea of the societal issues, we are giving. The societal issues are there and we are giving the idea, and there is one hospital for whom we are working for that, don't you think that hospital will pay you for that hardware? Answer is very simple, yes. And we'll ask them, the cost is 15,000, but you pay us 30,000. One model, working model, we will hand over to you. We will not charge you anything. And the second model will be there in the Social Innovation Center of the Baramati College of Engineering Incubation Center. So Dr. Gayatri can work on that as an open-ended project for the next year. You got it? So next year they are going to work. And the third year students will join the final year project. See how the funding comes. I'm coming to the ground reality of the engineering college. Okay. So try to understand. When the final year students are doing the project under the guidance of the Dr. Gayatri, which is, I do repeat again, we have given from the hospital. So real hospital is available, who is going to give the funding also. That time the third year 3 students will be attached to that project and they will work there for only half an hour they will spend per week for a smooth handover. So next time when the next batch comes in the final year, needless to say that they no need to go from a scratch and the hardware is already available there. So Dr. Gayatri no need to start the new project from a scratch once again, and that is the reason it will be open-ended project, couple of years. And believe me, it will be a not only patentable, forget about the patent, commercial viable product will be there for the startup. And the hospital is not an industry, right? Agro, the farmer is not the industry. So no one going to take the copyright and the patent on their name. So the IPR will be on the name of the Baramati College of Engineering and the students. So when the Gayatri ma'am is going to continue the project for next year, and then when going to be a commercial viable success story of the startup, the IPR rights will be with the college only, not with the hospital. You got it? And the funding will be, we are going to arrange from the hospital because it's a societal problem. That is what they are needed. We are offering them. Okay. Now, as I said, California Baptist University, one example. Okay. Now, in this case, Dr. Larry from the software engineering team, okay, if he gives some kind of projects, why not to join those? Condition, I do repeat again, it should be based on the social innovation. And if it is based on the social innovation community, social entrepreneurs can come together there and our, and they can do the wonders. Needless to say that UK, India, US, India, many other options are there for the funding once we have the such kind of project available. Second beauty of this, when we talk about the third year students are connected with the final year student, don't you think they already have the working model available with them? And then they are going to work on the version 2. And that's the reason when they have the working model available and the version 2, they have been working rather than working on the only documentation and the presentation. 1 year they are going to work, not the 3 months. And then the already working model available, so they can go for all kind of hackathons, national level, international level, because they already have the version 2 also available well in advance rather than wasting time in the typical documentation every year. Okay. So this is the in-house, you can say we will able to still get the funding from the final year projects. Okay. There is one challenge, like as she has just mentioned that patentability and the patent we need to file to protect the rights with us. But if you go for a novelty search of that is a costly affair. Again, to mention here, the novelty search can be done free of cost, complimentary from our side. Even if you share the 100 projects with us, give us a couple of weeks and your 100 projects, we will do the complimentary post MOU, the all novelty searches, and we will share with you which is patentable, which is not patentable. If it is not patentable, there is no point to go for that well in advance. Why to waste your time, money and efforts? And it's all 100% complimentary, no hidden cost is there. Okay. So I'm just coming to the grassroots issues and we are giving the solution also, okay, rather than doing the discussion. Now, when you talk about the fundraising, okay, do's and don'ts. Again, one of the one small story. There were 2 Punekar brothers and they had a restaurant. Okay, so they started to run this restaurant. They tried for the franchisee. The franchisee were not working. So finally, one fine morning, one salesperson approached them and he said, if you are not able to run the franchisee, do one thing, give me the franchisee. I will run your franchisee. And the salesperson, he went to the, now see how to get the funding. He went to the golf course. He went to the golf course. Now in the golf court, he found the golfers, mean the people, those are blessed with the money. Those are the rich people with a sufficient additional corpus with them, money with them. He asked them, please give the funding to me. I want to take the franchisee of the Punekar brothers and I want to start the restaurant and I will make you the partner. They immediately given the money. He got the money. He took the franchisee and he started working on that. And then he found that the franchisee is not doing well. And the reason is, listen very carefully. When we talk about the funding, there are 2 kinds of funding is there. When we take a funding from the angel investor, that is the individual one. The angel investor who is putting money of his hard-earned money from his pocket, like Shark Tank you must have seen on the television, or Indian Shark Tank you must have seen. for the funding from the angel investor, individual one. That time the person will be personally involved in your project as a mentor. And this was lagging in the Punekar brothers because the golfers, the rich people, they already had the $1 million. So they least bother about the restaurant and they never given the any time to the restaurant. That was the reason to not doing well. Then he went to the another one. See, now listen carefully. What he was looking for? He was looking for the skill set. He was looking for the people with the experience. And as I said in the initially only the thumb rule, no need to acquire your own knowledge in that field. Only our skills we need to hire. We should be best with the mentor. I do repeat, with the mentor to hire the best team. So what he did, he hired the people from the other restaurants. Those had some aspiration to become the business people, to start their own resto. He said, I have the resto. You have the aspiration to start your resto. Join me as a partner. And then he hired the chef, he hired the butler, he hired the manager as the partner. I do repeat, as a partner. So one side he got the funding, and second side he got the skill set. And then it becomes the success story. You got it? And that those two people, those have sold out him the IPR rights, they have to change the name, and afterward they become the bankrupt. And this is a real story of the, yes, McDonald. So please watch the movie of this also. You will get an idea that how it works. And both the McDonald brothers afterwards become the bankrupt because they lost the copyright and the patent of their McDonald's. And these butlers and this chef and the manager, they become afterwards the senior chairperson. And in 100 countries, you can say millions of, you can say as of now, customers with thousands of franchisee. Then one more thing. When you talk about the funding, very first step is you should have your Startup India registration successfully and the Startup India certificate with you. That again, we are going to help you. Okay. Now, what is that? Once you registered your startup, example, suppose in your campus, 20 startups are there. Question comes, how many startups are registered with Startup India? And they have the Startup India certificate. If you have the Startup India certificate with you, you will be entitled for many benefits, including subsidies and the funding. So what is the criteria? Your company should not be 7-year-old. So that is applicable. So no need to go in the detail because turnover now, earlier it was 25 CR, now 100 CR. So we are applicable. We are eligible. Students are eligible. What we need to form? LLP. So you can say 8,000 to 9,000 rupees is the cost. You can go for a LLP and then you can follow by that 8,000 rupees for the Startup India certificate. So 16,000 rupees investment to come with your Startup India registered startup. I do repeat. 16,000 is the only investment to come with a LLP own company, limited liability partnership firm on your name and Startup India registration. And once you have the Startup India registered company with you, then you can have the benefits of all kind of, you can say funding, the funding innovation funds. As I just mentioned, 20 lakhs, 80 lakhs rupees are there. SIDBI, this is the concept, even the BYST also follow means the bankers are there. Bankers will give you the not grant funds with a maybe 9% you can say rate of interest, and that you can use without any collateral. The beauty of this, without any collateral means no guarantee will be there, no guarantor is required, no mortgage is required, no salary slip required, and still you will get it. The way BYST is offering, there are many foundations are there in the market, many bankers are there in the market, where if you are eligible for this and you have the proper India startup, you can say project proposal, there also we are going to help you how to make the project proposal and all. And then there are many benefits like 80% rebate in the patent filing and all. Tax exemption is there. This is one of the best criteria or benefit you can say. And then as I just said, you will be automatically become eligible for many funding innovation options. This we are going to study in the season 2. This is just I'm giving you the glimpses that yes, once we become the Startup India registered startup with LLP company, 16,000 investment, then we are going to eligible for all this. Either is Atal, either is Manav, either is whichever it is. Means there are so many schemes are available from the government, NGOs, foundations, where we are going to be entitled and the eligible. So eligibility is the important. So first eligibility is, as I said. Then as I just we had a discussion about the international level startup. Yes, it's a highly you can say appreciable initiative from the Startup India at international bridges for the cross-border exchange of the startup. So we already initiated with a couple of universities, and soon we are going to have additional universities in our list. Okay, where the MOUs will be signed, and the way we sign the MOU with you, the similar we are going to sign the MOU with them. Okay. Now, this is one more, you can say, way to get the funding. And and that is the IPR way, intellectual property way, patent way. Think about the funding only, keep aside the patent. Okay, take the case study of the Apple. Now we know that when we talk about the Apple with a $900 billion billion dollar, okay, $1 billion worth asset. Can you imagine, madam, how many manufacturing plants they must have worldwide? Anyone? Thousands, millions? Manufacturing plant of the Apple worldwide? Anyone? Answer is zero. Believe me, zero manufacturing plant of the 900. It was 804 earlier. Now they crossed the $900 billion. So $900 billion worth company, and how many manufacturing plant? And that's the reason, as I said, Steve Jobs was very much clear that I don't want to go for manufacturing. I don't want to go for labor issues and other things. I will do all this outsource and let my Apple innovator sit in the AC cabin and work on the ideas, innovation, and take the copyright patent of that ownership with me, and the manufacturing from the labors from the outside with the outsourcing. You got it what I'm trying to say? Now this is one of the way. So they have the ownership with them of all the technologies through the IPR, and so they are getting the funding. Funding means not the funding to support their funding, means they have the ownership. They are giving that ownership to others in the name of the license transfer, or you can say simple language royalty basis. And many other mobile companies are paying them the royalty, including Samsung, one of the major player. They are paying the royalty to use their idea. Those are patented, copyrighted. So IPR also one of the way to raise the revenue, or you can say funds. So even if you say I'm an individual, how will I raise the? Simple. If you have a strong patent from the strong attorney firm where no loopholes are there, like this is a case study. These two engineers, individual engineer, they have filed their patent. Only they have filed from the proper attorney firm. So there was a legal support was there. And when the Apple did the infringement, see who is a copycat? Apple. And then there was a legal suit, and they got the first compensation $400 million, second $400 million, and then they are getting the royalty. Can you imagine iPhone 6 says royalty per piece they are getting, multi-billion business. And then, as I said, when it comes to the IPR and patent, why need to go through the proper patent attorney firm? It may be RKG1, it may be PSP, IP and all. Because when the battle goes there, just see the figure, nothing to Oracle, Google, one battle was there, someone won, okay. But how much they won for 1K legal suit? That was $9.3 billion, can you imagine? That time you cannot go with an innocent face, like I'm a student, I was not aware about the litigation, infringement and all. So there is a recommended to please go through the proper attorney firms with a proper base. Okay. Now one more, as I said, once you have the commercial viable product in the market, no doubt you are going to get the funds. But if you don't have any manufacturing plant, as I said, zero investment. As I said, startup with zero investment. So this is the example of the startup with zero investment. This is the example with a startup with zero investment. And this is the example of the startup with zero investment. You tell me, in last couple of decades, have you ever seen any other design of the soft drink can? Answer is no, the single design is there. And the single design was filed as a patent long before. And that time the person said, zero investment startup through IPR. Okay, one of the option. The person said, I do not have the funds. I do not have the manufacturing plant. I do not have the manpower. I have the only ownership of the patent with me. It is filed from proper attorney firm, which you cannot do modification or infringement. Okay, so legal support is very strong. And then he said, who were there? Either it's a Pepsi or Coke, the company. He said, you do the manufacturing, but give me the royalty per can 1 cent per can. So whichever you are going to sell out in the market, I will get the royalty for that. With the 1 cent, he is to earn that time. It's an old figure. Can you imagine the figure per annum income? Now this is one of the, you can say, revenue generation. This is one of the, you can say, funds you can get it. There are many ways. Okay. Now the good news is what? Earlier, means last year, it was $4.2 billion VC funding was there given to the startups. And now if you see 3 times more, the growth is there. $14 billion already we have crossed when we have just half of the year only completed. So you can say maybe we may cross $25 billion from the VC funding. Then the question comes, if this much huge amount, $14 billion is a huge amount for Indian startup from the VC funding, then why it is so difficult, as I said in the beginning, to get the funding from them? The reason I will tell you, when we talk about the funding, okay, take a case study like this, that Mohit sir is having additional corpus of the 10 CR and he wanted to give as an angel investor as an investment. What will be the mindset of the investor? The mindset will be, if I invest in the share market or a mutual fund, I am going to get minimum 20% safe investment in the mutual fund. If I give it to some companies in the share market, those are going to manage my portfolio, safe portfolio in the share market, Motilal Oswal and all, I am going to get 30% safe investment and safe returns. Now, don't you think if the person is going to put money on you, where the only 10% is a success ratio and 1% is out of that is a sustainable growth, at least minimum 40% is expected, right? And the safe exit at the earliest possible, maybe a couple of years. So when such kind of mindset is there of the angel investor, now think about the VC. I said in the beginning, VC means venture capitalist is not the individual, it's a company. Everyone knows mutual fund, right? Now mutual fund means what? They collect the money from you, what you invest in the mutual fund, subject to risk, that is, and once they get the $1 million in their pocket, the fund manager invests that money into the different shares based on their analysis and the expertise. And then we get the return average 20% from the mutual fund. Similar way, these VC companies, what they do, they collect the money from the different companies. Like, when we talk about the VC firm, so where the money comes? The money comes from the investors, those have the additional money with them. Money comes from the other company, those wanted to invest in the startup, but not directly because they don't have the time. So they wanted to invest like a mutual fund through the VC. So money come from others, try to understand. Already I mentioned that when the money come from the others, when the Mohit sir is going to invest his 10 lakhs rupees or 10 crore rupees, if the loss is there, he may able to bear it. But when he is going to collect the money from the Bishkar sir, Gayatri madam, from me, from Baramati Engineering College, and that he is going to play the role of the VC company, don't you think he has to take more precaution? Because this money not belongs to him, the money belongs to the other institutions and other individuals. So when you come to the VC funding, believe me, even if you say early stage, I'm coming to that. Early stage is not only idea. Early stage means like this. If you see, okay, now venture capital firms in the India, the top, you can say top 10. Okay, I'm going to show you one by one. Okay, now what are the company name and all, keep aside. Okay, what we are trying to see the domain: infra, mobile, software, internet, consumer services. Now, what are the startup they are funding? Myntra. The big names are there. I don't understand. Flipkart, big names are there. So when we talk about the VC funding and when they have the huge $1 million of fund gathered from others, they will obviously go with though it's an early stage. Can you see here title? This is the top active VC firms in India for early stage startups. So please, if you have something in your mind, early stage means I will go with an idea and someone will invest $1 million in me. No, boss. That is not the meaning of the early stage. Early stage means you are up to the, already you have launched them in the market and now you want to go for a scale up and all. That is the early stage. When you are struggling to launch and when you are successfully launched the product in the market, service in the market, that time you are trying to say. And if you see the names of the startup funded, these are the big names. Even the second one, startup funded to whom? Healthcare, consumer internet, financial sector, technology. Why I'm reading the domains? So you will get an idea from where the funding comes and what are the domains we should invest. I have given the thumb rule. 100% hardware, I said avoid. Just Dial, Zomato, the big names are there. Now this way, if you go through the Google, okay, you will come to know there are many companies are there. But if you see the domain investment, internet, again, everywhere it's a internet. E-commerce, and again the big names are there. Myntra is there, Urban Ladder is there, Snapdeal is there, and this is, they say, early stage, that time when they invested. Are you getting? If you have any doubts, you can ask me. So this way there are 10, no need to go in the detail, you can go through the Google afterwards. We are trying to convey here that why the VC either or angel investor will risk their money by funding you when you already not proven your working model in the market. Commercial viable, minimum commercial viable product in the market need to be launched and need to be launched successfully. So what we are going to do now, within the next 1 year, we are going to help you. We are going to do the mentoring with the help of the MOU, that you can have the commercial viable, sustainable, societal problem, maximum reachability, and that reachability is going to be there within 1 year. So down the line, 1 year, we will be in a position to go for such kind of fundings. If you have any doubt, you can ask. We'll have one case study. Anyone here from civil engineering? And then we'll close the session. Anyone from civil engineering? Sanika is there, right? Sanika, are you there? Sanika, final year civil engineering student. Madam, any civil engineering student here?
Sir, there are civil engineering students.
Ask them to mute one. Anyone?
Ujwala, are you there? Ujwala?
Anyone from civil? So this is the last case study.
Civil engineering student?
Faculty?
Sanika?
Faculty from civil?
Let me check.
Anyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Who's there? Snail?
Snehal Varke.
Yeah, student, faculty?
Faculty.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. See, Snail ji, we know that nowadays new mixture comes in the market. We see the hoarding on the highway also, right? That the new mixture
Yes,
I'm going to drive very fast and this way. Now you tell me they need to put the hoardings. I do repeat, they need to put the hoardings, that kind of mixture. That is the innovation, beautiful innovation, no doubt that. Okay. Now, similar way for the fast drying RCC, there are many innovations are going on. The fast drying plaster is there. Okay.
Yes.
Now you tell me a couple of innovations. Those are 100% hardware, means from the civil engineering, and which are the success stories, success startups. But just now we have seen a couple of funding agencies, those are the VC, and we have seen the domains. Everywhere we have found it's a software enabled, either 100% software or software enabled. Then the question raised is why the mentor is required. I am coming to that one. Okay, why mentor is required. Now you tell me any idea which you have planned for startup from civil engineering or civil engineering.
Presently, not, sir.
Where we can get the funding. Okay, take this example of the mixture. Okay.
So it can be structural health monitoring sort of system.
Structural is there, then there are, you can say, many issues are there connected with the environmental.
Yes.
Sewage system is a major concern in India. So you can process sewage system innovatively. Okay, but when we do that, sewage system innovatively means what? You are doing the automation of that.
Yes.
And automation means again it's a software enabled. And that's the reason I said, please come out of the boundaries, transcend the horizons across the boundaries at least of the department, and don't see that all 3 students in the civil engineering project should be from civil. See that at least one should be from IT computer, one should be from electronics.
Yes.
Same is about the mechanical engineering and others. You got it. Now come to this.
Yes.
My question is, there are organizations, there are chamber of commerce, there are civil bodies, civil engineering associations. Why will they pay you as a funds? That is my question. From where will you get the funding? And now we will give one our own project, which we already initiated. Okay. Now what is that project? Virtual walkthrough for virtual sample flat. Virtual walkthrough for virtual sample flat. Now how the funding will come, I will tell you. This is something, the virtual walkthrough. Then you will say there are many virtual walkthroughs are available for the sample. Why do we need? Simple. When we do the market analysis, we found that there are only 1% builders are there. Those can afford sample flat with the furnishing. I do repeat. Only 1% builders are there in the market in India. Those can afford sample flat with furnishing and infra because it comes with a cost, right? That is not possible for them. Second, initially only they have to complete full-fledged one flat, which is not possible for them because if it is a G+3, G+4, G+5 kind of buildings and only single tower is there, which is the 99% project are like this, right? All over pan-India, I'm trying to say, not only in the metro. So pan-India, when we such kind of projects are there, someone need to think about them that how to give them the sample flat virtual walkthrough. Then you will say virtual walkthrough is what a big deal. Collect the, you can say, a blueprint from them and make a virtual walkthrough. No, here the innovation comes. Here you need a mentor. When you have one electronic student, one IT student, one civil engineering student together with a mentor like Moite sir, what we are going to do, I will tell you. We will convey them, do one thing, think about emotions and this, your sensitive mind, Indians. Now here, as I said, when you be a startup mentor, startup buddy, never get emotion involved. But when you are going to sense the market, first of all, take the pulse of Indian, that is the emotions. Amazon was super flop in the India. Amazon India is successful in the India with the help of the Amazon Prime. Think about it afterwards. Because of Amazon Prime, Amazon India becomes successful in the India, not the Amazon US. Okay. Now come to this. What is the pulse? When we go, madam, okay, Snail man, when we go
Yes,
to
yes.
any project, okay, we enter in the sample plan. Like I stay in the Lodha Belmondo, very high, is a well-maintained community. Okay. Now, when we see the sample plan, what we see, tell me. Because the person who enter is not a technical person, right? From civil engineering or architecture and point of view. So the
Yes, sir.
family, husband, wife, children, and the parents, what they see? They see the infrastructure inside that, furniture
sir.
inside that, color combination inside that, interior inside that. And when they know very well that they are going to get only the walls, ceiling, and the flooring, right?
Yes,
This
sir.
is they are not going to get. It's a sample flat, but still it influence their mind, right? And then the closing will be there based on that. Now, what we are going to do? We will have a simple system. When the family comes there, collect the details immediately in the software. So the husband will say, I'm doing so and so, my job is so and so, I have kids so and so. Then lady, the housemaker or the working woman, then parents, then their religion, everything, caste, everything, their idols, this is this, then the children, you know. And when the child, the first child, who is suppose 7-year-old girl, when that lady wear the virtual walkthrough device, we know that she's a 7-year-old girl. So don't you think what we need inside? We need a Barbie, we need a pink color theme, you know.
Yes, sir.
It's a customized one and the personalized one. But at the same time, when the senior citizen, the parents are going to wear that, accordingly the photo frames will change. The god will come at the place of the, you know, goddesses will come at the place of the Barbie. Similar way, when the person, the boy who is a, you know, maybe a college student, immediately the Messi and all his, you know, based on his, you know, which music he like, which, you know, football player, soccer player he likes, accordingly everything will change. If the working woman is there, the interior of the kitchen will be changed accordingly. If the housemaker is there, it will change accordingly. You got it? Because housemaker, quite possible that may spend more time in the kitchen. So accordingly, the kitchen interior, we will change. Interior, blueprint, we are not going to change. We are talking about the furniture, we are talking about the furnishing, we are talking about the color theme, we are talking about the frames. You got it? And when
Yes.
things we are going to change, don't you think the possibility is very high that they will close the deal and they will say, yes, this is the flat we wanted to purchase. You got it? Now come
Yes,
to the,
sir.
go to the individual. Individual will say, yes, I have a G+5 plan. I can't afford this, but I can pay you, right? And one virtual walkthrough, you know, the device cost is only 450 rupees. And whatever the remaining is our, why we need a civil engineering student? Because without civil engineering student, it's not possible to study the blueprint and make the virtual walkthrough based on the actual structure, right? So the IT student, electronic student, civil engineering student can do the civil engineering startup successful. And believe me, the funding will come from the individual, funding will come from the group of the civil engineering bodies, organization, their associations, and whatnot. And what you need to do, just hire some MBA or BBA students for the interns, let them go to the Pan India everywhere with the demos, and then the pricing will be there. Imagine how much funding we'll try to get from here in the form of revenue generation. Now, this is just one example. When we are going to associate with you 1 year with the help of the BYST, with the help of the such a, you know, Mohite sir, my mentor, you know, just imagine what kind of miracle and the wonder we can do, Bichkar sir, within 1 year. Okay. So just to conclude, solution to discuss in nutshell, we are not here to convey you what is available in the market or what are the funding agencies are available. Everything is there on the Google. We are not eligible immediately. That is the final fact. Okay, that is the first and immediate we have to understand. Then wherever we are eligible with 9% interest from BYSP or some foundation, that is the immediate starting. But if you ask for the VC funding, wait for 1 year, contribute, invest all our, you can say, resources, manpower, and our intellectual capacity in that to become eligible for the angel investor and the VC funding down the line 1 year. So grooming of the startup is required for 1 year with a consistently throughout round the clock mentoring. So mentor is again going to play the major role in this 360-degree mentoring. And then, as I said, at the end of the year, we'll be in a position to get such kind of funding grants Means no interest will be there, not only the funding, okay, grants I'm trying to say, but it need minimum consistently 1 year. As I already mentioned, I do repeat again, startup is not technical, but it is just a sense to sense the market. And what we have been trying to do with the help of the PSPIP, BYSP and all, Moiti Associates and all, that to inculcate this culture in the students. Finally, to first year students, we are trying to inculcate the culture, either it's a student or it's a faculty. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. This is from my side. Thank you for patience listening. Thank you. Season 2 will come soon. Thank you.
Now it's a time for a few questions from the participants. So may I request the students and faculty members, those who are having questions, they can unmute themselves and ask the questions. Yes. Okay, sir, I have collected few questions.
Please, please.
The first one is many higher education institutes like ours is engineering college, so they are investing very high on skill development programs.
Right.
So how effectively the skill development, like right now you said that we should not run behind being best in a particular skill.
Skills, right.
So how you will guide us?
Technical skills.
How,
Technical skills.
yes, particularly I'm talking about technical skills. So in our institute also we are running behind developing the technical skills. So
Right.
how this program, that is skill development program, effectively we can conduct at our institute?
See, as I said, this is my own experience. This is my own perspective. Okay. Case to case, it may vary. I have
Yes.
again the same to share over here. If you suppose you are from civil or mechanical or automobile or computer electronics, whichever the stream, if you acquire some technical skills, don't you think someone else will hire you
Yes.
to utilize those skills for their startup? What
Yes,
you
sir.
I forgot to mention one thing over here, which is the most important. In today's era, the business is going to run, startup is going to run only and only with the first and the foremost is the mindset, and the second is the network. I forgot to mention. Thank you. Network. Like I have joined business clubs, I have joined NGOs, I have joined Rotary Club, I have joined many industries, Chamber of Commerce. That is all about the network. Are you getting what I'm trying to say?
Yes, yes, sir.
So if you have the strong network, okay, then the kind of business we can say, kind of you can say funding, you can say kind of you can say all sort of revenue generation is highly possible. You getting? So if you say if particular student is going to learn blockchain, highly appreciable, Python, highly appreciable. It may be in the mobile sector, very good hands-on knowledge about the CNC machines and all kind of programming, highly appreciable. Question rise when the person will find to study the market, when the person will find to study and sense the business, when the person will find to attend the meetings with the mentors outside, when the person will find to go to the Rotary Club, go to the NGOs, go to the foundations, go to the industry, go to the Chamber of Commerce, go to the MIDC area, meet the people, meet the industry people, when the time will, because the person will be busy in the back office. And that's the reason I have given the example. Humble request to all the students, please watch today social networking movies based on the Facebook. You will realize what I'm trying to convey. If just imagine if the Mark Zuckerberg had spent and keep on spending 20 hours in the coding in the back office, today Facebook would not be the success story. He has closed that. I do repeat, he wear the blazer and he started visiting each and every university for the branding and the promotion, what we say business development. What is unfortunately we have hardly any syllabus in the any engineering college about the business development. We have hardly any syllabus where we can focus. We do focus on the skills, we do focus on the industry, we do focus on many things, but no one is going to focus on that, how to do the business, how to go for industries, how to have a business development skills and the skill set. Here you just imagine, I'm not criticizing, I'm just trying to convey you. Here, no one is ready to unmute for 1 second. To talk with me, interact with me. How will they interact with a mentor? How will they interact with by their own, by taking an appointment with the industry people to enter in the industry of the Baramati, Pune, Pan India? Don't you think it's quite difficult? And we are talking about the final year students also involved over here.
Yes, sir.
They become the technocrat. So if you say startup, we are talking about the today startup, okay? If this would be some other session, we would have conveyed you, yes, be a technocrat and be a CEO of the Google, be a CEO of the IBM, right? So IBM, Google, ICICI, don't you think it's a pride moment that hundreds of companies, CEOs are Indian, yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Who are the founders, madam? All are sitting in the US.
Yes.
Got it. So what we have the maximum ultimate game of the engineering college to become the CEO of any particular company of someone else company. Right. That is the mindset we inculcating from the first year. That do you become the CEO? We focus on what? Packages. Everywhere. My Paytm got the 32 lakh package, this package, that package, and then student become get the mindset that I should go in the Paytm with the 32 lakh package. That is my ultimate goal. We never TPO, not about the Baramati, it's an overall scenario. And with heart, I'm just saying my own experience. It's a painful heart. Okay, so I'm just sharing. Why not we focus and we say that, okay, these are the kings, these are the startup buddies, these are their startup stories, and we will make the promotion of them, branding of them. So other students will feel, yes, this is something I wanted to do rather than going to the Paytm with the 32 lakh package. Our ultimate game, ultimate goal is changed altogether. That is focused on to become the CEO, to get the Paytm 32 lakh package. So we are trying to talk about the only employees. Finally, they are labor. Either you are a CEO of the IBM or Pepsi or either Google. Finally, you are an employer. Try to understand.
Yes.
So when we talk about this is a real nice initiative by BYST, FIPP, Baramati College of Engineering, highly appreciable. This is the baby step, and that's the reason I said season 2 will come with the actual working model of 1 year horizon with the help of the obviously Mohit sir is there. So
Yes.
sir, there.
Don't worry. Yeah, Mahadev sir and my will be definitely.
Yes, Mahadev sir.
Yes. Sir, I'm happy to share you one thing that we will be soon having a incubation center at our institute, which is funded by Bharat Force. So we are at very initial phase of having an incubation center. So we will be having few of the projects which will be selected by Bharat Force, and will be floating some ideas, like you said, that we should work on the social aspect first so that we can reach to the masses, right? So could you give us some guidelines that how we should start with this incubation center? We
Yes,
have planned few activities, but how we should start with?
recently we have filed the patent that if we talk about any car, okay, except the very higher segment cars, okay, luxurious car, when you go to the any ghat and all, when we turn the car, okay, actually I'm giving one example, steering, and then that time the bulbs, the headlamps,
Right.
they won't turn, right? So we won't
Yeah.
see what is there in that corner, okay, what is
Yes,
going
sir.
to come from there, okay. Now, can we have something which will be not connected with the steering? Because first we see there is a turn, then we have an act of the turning the steering, and then the headlamp going to change. Rather than just make a provision, it will be connected with a GPS system. In the GPS system, whenever the turn will be there in the Google map, automatically it will turn. It will not wait till you are going to use the steering. But this is simple. Okay, why I have given the example of this? Because 99.9% cars, automobiles, vehicles, they do not have this kind of provision.
Yes, sir.
Got it. Now this way, if you start thinking, is what we need to do. We need to start interact with the end users. See, exit poll, that is the best option. So similar way here, do the survey, meet each and every person from a small segment to the luxurious car segment, and then find out the ground reality. Do more with less for more. So once we meet one-to-one, we can contribute in more in that. Just one more concluding remark about the incubation center. It's highly appreciable that you got the incubation center of the Bharat Force. The kind of incubation center we are trying to propose, that is the private incubation center from our side, and that is to inculcate this business sense in the students and have a minimum 20 startups successful within this 1 year. So we will be in a position to get the funding at the end of the 1 year. One more request, in the chat box, there is one post. Please copy paste that post, okay? And the forum is there. You can, if you are interested to get associated for 1 year, join that forum. The link already is mentioned. WhatsApp link is mentioned. All of the details are there. Go through the chat box. You'll get all the details. Thank you. Any other question?
Any other question is there from the audience?
Yes, you can ask in any language. Marathi, Hindi, English, Tamil, Telugu, Kannada.
Fantastic.
Okay. Um, okay. Sir, whether there is any rule as such ki when there is already a product in the market, existing product, and how much percentage modification we can have so that we can come up with a new patent?
Yeah, about the patent. See,
Yeah.
one thing try to understand about the patent, we can have some other session that time.
Mhm.
10% plagiarism is allowed in the research paper, right?
Yes, sir.
How much percentage of plagiarism, word to word plagiarism allowed in the patent?
20%. Few allows up to 20% also, but reputed one it will go 10 to 15%.
We have 96.6% patent grant, Indian patent grant record of any attorney, not only we, RKG1 and all. And 99% plagiarism is allowed in the patent.
Patent.
Yeah, I do repeat on this public forum where the audio of the recording
Okay.
is 99% plagiarism, word to word plagiarism is allowed in the patent. That's the reason is what I said, we need a mentor.
Okay.
Okay. Either it's a patent, either it's a incubation, either it's a startup. Why do we need a mentor? Because to need to understand that.
Yes.
Your patent is not required any kind of plagiarism. What did I say? You are doing the charity by doing the research paper in the 2-column, formatting, everything you are going to do, plagiarism check, you are going to do, which is a clerical job. Why can't IEEE hire someone to do that? And then they say, Dr. Aparna, you do one thing, you have beautiful research, share with us, no formatting, everything will take care. Can't they hire the clerical people for that? Means a researcher has to do the formatting also and then do the charity.
Yes.
This is copyright on your name. You got it? So in the case of patent, I'm just coming to that, 99% plagiarism is allowed, word to word copy paste is allowed because patent least bother about the formatting. Patent is all about the uniqueness, novelty worldwide. Got it? That is important. For that, we need a novelty search. So in the chat box also, we have mentioned the link. Free complimentary novelty search, trademark search is available online. The link is given there. Copy chat box content.
Okay. Yes, sir. We'll surely have a detailed session on patents. So I think there are no questions from the audience. So should we move to the conclusion of the session, sir?
Yes, sure. Mohite sir.
Yeah, they
Murthy,
can.
sir?
They can. Yeah, you see,
Yes.
if the professors would like to have some questions to us, they can also entertain here. Because after all, you people have some mentored by BYST here. So I would like to have any questions
Yes.
from these particular mentors. Those are working rightly. Suryakant has put very, very appropriate and aptly the thought on that. What is your basically the job? You are a teacher, buddy. We're going to support your student and not as a mentor. But he rightly focus on that way. But let me tell you, Suryakanta, these people who have been guided by BYST, a few of them have basically, majority people have been gone through the mentoring program, but application of mentoring is very difficult for them, as rightly pointed out, because they don't have the field experience, ground experience. So that is there. That is a gap here. So we are here as a BYST, would like to make them to with that all together activity as they are connected. I told you, Bharat Forge, they are going to support and everything. But when they are having that particular MOU with the Bharat Forge, I think so, they will have the control over the Bharat Forge will have the controlling and that. There will be some constraint to this institution. There will be some problems to this institution when Bharat Forge is controlling that activity. This is another part, madam. Very openly, I'm telling you. Why?
Yes.
Someone is controlling you, then there is no joy of getting that incubation in that. Very honestly, you must have your own sustainable, incubation. You must have your own sustainable incubation. That is what Suryakant has just spoken of that way. You can earn money. You can earn money for your institution, your college, and you can sustain very well whatever you are getting that CSR factory activities on blood. If you connected them, there will be a lot of issues financially and as well in monitoring perspective. I'm right, Suryakanta?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So you be independent. Our advice will be that be independent, Vidya Prishtan, independent with their own incubation, and we are going to support you. That is what Suryakant has put very clearly.
Yes.
So the matter will be taken up to management, obviously, not because management coming with the thought process of Bharat Forge and it come to percolated to the down level. Am I right? So you people are not a decision maker. The decision maker is the management, right, man?
Yes.
Very openly,
Yes.
I'm talking. This is a platform which is very open. We are professionals. This is what I'm talking. Because we are guiding many more institutions. We are guiding many universities. Perhaps people may not be knowing. People may be knowing that I'm from Baramati. I work in Vidya Prishnan. That is not Mohite here today. The Mohite is totally different. He is connected with the nationally, internationally, and connected with the many more than 25 startup in the country and abroad. So about my basically journey, nobody knows. Only Madhav Gaikwad is here, who is a very close and my genuine friend. He knows that what I'm doing last 40 years in that line. I never spoke anything in Baramati because I know the mindset of the people in there. Anyway, but that is not a case of the talking in the platform. But yes, we are there to support you. If you think of your independent incubation, yes, we are there too. You will earn in a lakhs, not in lakhs, but in crores. That way. Am I right, Suryakanta?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It
Sir,
may be something, secret I'm talking to here, and it is recorded. I think so. I request you, you cut this recording while discussing on that line.
Yes. Mohiti sir, many of our faculty members, they have done
I know that.
mentor development program. So what's the next step ahead?
So what
So
is
the step
their,
ahead.
yes, ma'am, what is their intake? What is they have done? What they have basically done further with BYST? Have they contacted me and Madhav Rao? Just a moment. Have they contacted me and Madhav Rao? This is what we want to do. And sir, can you help us with that? We would have guided them. See,
Yes,
Madhav
sir.
Rao Gaikwad is the only person, let me finish it. Madhav Rao Gaikwad is the only person in Baramati who's taking care his own way, his own expenses. Even me, when I'm working nationally for the BYST, we're working for the welfare of the education. So please tell us that go with the practical aspects, take a practical student, rightly Suryakant has pointed out, go practically. You can create that thought process as rightly the simple example of the water from river to the pipeline, and that is the making the venture capital and everything, whatever that. So we are going to support you, ma'am. So my request all of you, we will have a conduct a meeting with me and Madhav Raoji, and then we will plan up that way, and we will guide you further what to do, because we are here. Even Suryakant and me also doing a joint venture all together. So we are very open, we are professionals. Okay. I hope that you got the answer or not.
Yeah. Gaikwad sir also has helped us a lot. Means he has
He is
supported
helping every time. Because of him, we are here today. Let me put
from,
very clearly. See, we
from
are.
our institute. He has supported one student. He's Paigambar Sheikh. BYST has given him the support for the product development.
Madam, Gaikwad sir wanted to give 100 students mentoring.
Yes,
But there
yes.
is only one student. Why it is happening in the institution?
Yes.
Please check. This is the self-actualization activity that we have all professors and all concerned students need to think. There are some students. They are
Yes,
here
yes.
what for? What are they are listening? What they listen to our Suryakanta today? Don't you think that we are working nationally and internationally in a different perspective? And everyone is groomed in that line. Professors who are here, I know that some are knowing to me also, because I know that when I was working with Vidyaprishnan, I know that I have worked in that line. But we have to change the dimensions. So Madhav Raoji and me all together thinking more practical in days to come, that yes, definitely we can support, but individually. BYC is individually, we are individually, we will work together. When BYC will support you, even we both will support you. There is no issue. Unless and until college should not think out of the box, the things will not happen, ma'am. Very openly, so this record can definitely make the sense of that. I hope that you are getting something.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Very true.
And I have spoken to you long back. I know that. I do remember.
Yeah. So let's come towards the conclusion of this session.
Please. I'm very thankful. First of all, let me propose the vote of thanks on behalf of my BYST. Madhav Raoji Gaikwad, who is the leading our, the mentor from Baramati. I'm very proud of him. He is the person, he's genuinely working more than decades for the Baramati. And altogether, I'm fortunate that because of him, I'm into the BYST last few more than decade. And I'm very happy to tell you that I am a strategic board member for the Pune cluster for Pune, Jejuri and Baramati. So I'm official of that particular, voluntarily we both are working. And altogether, today I have basically connected with Suryakanta. And yes, we will make more changes in your college. But if you people think professionally, and we are going to support 100% professionally, as well as voluntarily, as well as socially. So we are working all together for the welfare of the education institution. So I think so. Madhav Raoji doing a wonderful thing for you people. I know that he's loving a great. He always think that how I can help students, how I can make students to be more and more entrepreneurs. Sir. He is a very, very interested, but support to him, I'm sorry, is not getting much from the students and much for that is the, like, I think so. Madhav Raoji also can express. Madhav Raoji, over to you, please. Madhav Raoji, you are there. Yes,
थँक यू एवढं बोललं आणखी मी काय बोलायचं
अरे सर
ठीक आहे थँक्यू
सत्यता हीच आहे ना सर सत्यता हीच आहे की आपण तयार आहोत सर आपण देण्यासाठी आपले हात मोकळे केलेले आहेत घेणाऱ्याने घेत राहावं
Yes.
ओके सर
So On behalf of VPKBIT, let me express my sincere thanks to Dr. Patil sir for enlightening us with the facts of Indian startup and scope for the funding. He has also highlighted very important points like thumb rules for the startups and related funding. That startups are nothing but the sense the market. So learn to exit, run behind. We have to run behind being the having the getting the hands-on skills, but which are related with the startup building. Then we should assure that there should not be 100% hardware in the project final year project that we are working. So we have to go to the society and we have to search for the problems, and so that we can reach to the masses. Then he has beautifully presented various case studies where the social innovations are highly in demand. So he has also highlighted do's and don'ts of the fundraising, then benefits of startup registration in India. So thank you, sir, for guiding our students and faculty members on the facts and figures of the startups and related funding. I'm very much thankful to Gaikwad sir for sharing his valuable time and connecting us to Mohite sir uh, as well as Patil sir. So thank you, Gaikwad sir, and I'm sure that you will
Thank
be
you.
all there to help us. So lastly, I want to just say a quote: "Coming together is beginning, keeping together is the progress, and working together is success." So let's work together. Mohite sir, we will surely, I will surely say that we will come forward as faculty members to motivate our students, and let's work together so that we can develop a sustainable startup ecosystem at VPKBIT Baramati. Thank you. Thank you
Certainly,
all.
ma'am. Certainly, ma'am.
Ye-
We look forward on
Thank you.
22nd
Thank
and
you.
23rd. We
Yes,
look
thank
forward
you, sir.
22nd and 23rd. We'll meet there. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you, Patil sir, Dr. Patil sir, thank you, Mohite sir, and thank you, Gaikwad sir.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
I declare here that the webinar is concluded. Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.